Welcome to Courtland Center in Burton, a suburb of Flint, Michigan. This is a mall I've been to a few times while I was growing up and even more recently. It's only about an hour or so from where I grew up, so I do have some experience and memories visiting this mall. Courtland Center would begin its life as the Eastland Mall and open in October of 1968. The mall would open with a 1,000-seat theater, 47 stores, and 3 anchors. Woolco, a discount chain, would be on the eastern end of a mall, a store called The Fair would be on the western end, and a Detroit-based store called Federal's would be in the center. The mall would get renamed in August of 1986 as Courtland Center. The Woolco space would get divided amongst Crowley's department store and other additional stores. The year was 1994, and the mall was doing fairly well with 80 stores. Crowley's would meet its demise only 3 years later. In 1998, the theater would undergo a large expansion. And now here comes the 2000s. This is where everything began to fall apart, because the mall had been pretty successful up until now, keeping most of its stores. The mall was owned by Forest City Enterprises and now would be taken over by Tucker Development and begin a renovation in 2004. This would begin what I like to call the mall tenant shuffle. Old Navy would relocate inside the mall, displacing a former FYE that had closed. Payless Shoe Source also relocated. Somewhere around 2005 or shortly after, Joann's, Staples, and a Dunham Sports would relocate from other nearby locations into the mall. You're going to see this museum coming up shortly, and I thought it was a great use of an otherwise empty space. Unfortunately, it was closed when I visited that day, but I have been to that museum before, and it's a pretty good little museum. And this brings us to the center court. Where most malls have long ago dismantled their fountains, the Courtland Center has decided to keep theirs, and it's a pretty great little fountain, so take a listen. I couldn't find any information as to when the Mervyns came into this mall, but in early 2006, the chain would leave the mall as it exited Michigan and went out of business. Even JCPenney couldn't refrain from the tenant shuffle, because in 2007, it would relocate its existing store to a newer, larger location in the former Mervyn space. During the renovation, the roof would catch on fire, causing the mall to close for a day. JCPenney would hold a grand opening for its new store on March 1st, 2008. One day before my birthday. That's pretty cool. Steve & Barry's would join the mall shortly after, and then shortly after that close due to it going bankrupt and closing for good. Even the theater couldn't escape the mayhem, as it had closed once before, and now it would reclose in 2009. In 2011, the mall would welcome a brand new Planet Fitness. 2011 would see the cinema being reopened as an NCG cinema. It would be named NCG Courtland Cinemas and would replace the NCG cinema not too far away in Clio, Michigan. Well, I'm going to leave you here with some old photos of the mall. Thanks for watching, subscribing, and supporting me over on my Patreon page at patreon.com/tiltedtripodmedia. Until the next adventure, that's all for now, and I'll see you in the next one.